Mayowa is another level of drama. Nobody takes him serious. Mayowa, how you doing?
I'm doing good, baby.
That's good. So let's talk about you. What actually brought you into the creation of Beam Entertainment? How did it all start?
It's a long story. Do you want to hear?
I'm actually down for it.
So I've been in the entertainment business for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I started as a blogger. So I used to write for NotJustAGame.com when I was like 16, 17. And then I got into management.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there I started promoting shows in Dallas, Texas. Yeah, I was very popular if I came to Canada.
Nice.
I was going on tour with all the big artists. And when I came to Canada in 2016, I moved to Windsor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at Windsor, I'm like, man, there's nothing going on in Windsor. This place is a dead city.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's going on here.
Oh, you just got Windsor dead. Oh my God.
Yeah, Windsor was dead when I got here. When I moved to Windsor, I was just shocked that there were so many Nigerians here, but there was no community of Nigerian people. There was no places to eat African food. There was no events. There was no parties. I was just like, man, this is miserable. But I guess that's why God brought me here.
Oh my God.
To make the changes.
Are you kidding me right now? Mayowa is a joke, but he's actually an interesting person. So, I can remember when you started off with the APC, African Princess of Comedy.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly the greatest because considering, that was one of your first hits in Windsor. But how did you feel and what actually prompted you to, bring comedians from Nigeria into Canada, or basically from different parts of the world?
So they weren't even from Nigeria. They were Nigerian comedians, African comedians, but they were based in the US.
Okay.
And for me, like at the time, I wasn't going to college in Windsor.
Okay.
I didn't have a lot of friends. I was just kind of doing my own research about the city, and I felt like those comedians were popular among the youth. And comedy is a great way to bring families together. So now that we're doing concerts, for example. The venues that we use are 18 or 19 plus.
Okay.
Right? So you can't bring your kids to a concert for fouls because it's a night and it's a club. But it's a comedy show, you can bring your whole family.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I was like, the first thing we need to do in Windsor is to kind of bring everybody together. That way my parents can come, my friends can come, my little sister can come.
Oh, you can have everybody in it.
Right. And so that was my idea, and it was cheaper to bring comedians from the US.
Than Nigeria?
They were already popular. Because from Nigeria, you have to do their visa for them.
Oh, yeah.
You have to pay them way more money. They're more established in Nigeria. But across the border, we live in Windsor. Detroit is right there. So you can fly them to Detroit and cross them by road.
So you pay for this artist to fly all the way from their location down to...
So we pay them a fee. So this thing is very expensive, and I've not made any money in Windsor yet.
Yeah, so I'm really curious because,
So the first step you do is...
I just attacked him saying he makes money, and he really came for me. He's like, oh, I don't make money, I don't make money.
We'll get into it in a second.
Okay.
But anyway, so the first step is you reach out to them by email or whatever, Instagram. You have to pay them a fee, agree a fee with them specifically. Then you have to fly them here. Not to Windsor as much, you fly them to Detroit, because it's right there. And you drive them across the border. You have to book them a hotel.
Well, flying to Detroit because that's cheaper for you.
Right.
Okay.
It's cheaper for me, and it's also because it's just cost effective. There's no reason to fly them across the border to Windsor.
Okay.
Because flying them, that's a new country.
Okay.
And the Detroit airport is 35 minutes from Windsor.
Playing smart, playing safe, that's good.
So we have to basically book them, give them a booking fee, fly them here, feed them when they're here, and accommodate them when they're here. Okay. So it's a lot of cost.
I'm really curious, in terms of the feeding and then accommodation, do they have a specific preference?
It depends on who you're working with. Most of them, their contracts, they have specifics. They tell you nothing less than a 3-star hotel.
Wow.
It's funny, I was trying to book somebody else that we didn't end up bringing. I won't say the name of the person. But he wanted a 5-star hotel. Okay, interesting. And he wanted us to pick him up from the airport with a Range Rover, a 2019 Range Rover, or what was it talking about? Or Mercedes. They charge you in US dollars, and they expect you to pay them in US dollars. So it's very, trust me, it's not a very cheap. It's the only passion can keep you here.
I do understand. A lot of people actually are into things that they like because of the passion they have for it. Right. It does pay in the future, but the beginning is always hard, right? But I have more questions to ask with regards to, working with artists. Because I remember you brought Tenny, who is a Nigerian artist, and she was on radio early this year, and it was good because Windsor was out to listen to her voice, and you did a great job bringing her on here, and it was really exciting for the station as well. But what was the struggles of getting in contact with this artist in Nigeria, or even getting in contact with artists in Nigeria?
So for me, it's not a struggle, just because I've been in the business myself. I have to manage artists.
Oh.
So I'm one of the few people that I think has experience in the business from every side.
Oh.
So I have management experience, I have show experience, I have record label experience. And so when someone like Tenny, I've known a manager before I became a manager years ago, I've known him for like 5-6 years. All of us kind of came up together in the industry. So I've known him for a long time. So I was speaking to them 6-7 months before the show happened.
Oh.
Close to a year actually. I was like, hey, I need to do this. So in my mind, I already predicted that it's not even about the times. I already assumed, and I gambled in my mind that Tenny would be as big as she was going to be when she came here. So I was like, you know what? Before she blows more and more, let me just get a good deal now and lock it down ahead of time.
I think we should have done that for Burna.
Yeah, but Burna Boy is a tricky proposition too.
Yeah,
it's funny because I was going to bring him here. I was very close to getting him here.
But I think it's very expensive now. Very expensive now.
We're going to get a decent deal, honestly, but
to Windsor.
But the time was short. And Burna Boy, if you're going to do a Burna Boy show, you have to do it the right way. So we couldn't pull it off in time. So we had to scrap it. We almost did it, man. We're very close.
I actually have so many questions for you because it's an interesting topic. Like it's just. I want to talk about your expenses.
Right.
Money, we don't plug money from trees.
Right.
So how do you come up with all these funds that you use to you actually stated that you don't get as much gain as you're supposed to, but how do you actually come up with the funds that you use to sponsor the shows, book halls, get people to run around, get the Range Rover to pick them up?
Right. So first of all, I'm a businessman. On the other side of it, I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I'm a hustler. I know how to find my way. I'm not doing any Yahoo for people that want to.
So Yahoo is like the bribery and corruption.
If you're not from Nigeria, what Yahoo is fraud.
Basically.
Online fraud, internet fraud. I don't do it. A lot of people are involved in those kind of things. I'm not.
But that's just wrong.
But anyway, so I'm an entrepreneur. I invest in real estate in Windsor. I have a bunch of properties that we manage.
That's good.
That we own with we collect rent, things like that. But my passion is entertainment.
So that provides the money for entertainment.
So that's one way. I mean, you find a way, man. You get a job, you work, whatever, and you hope that you get the money back. But I think for me, the main thing is, where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to get the job done, you figure it out.
I actually have an honest question. Let's just be fair. Do you think you've gotten, you've at least made 5% of how much you've spent? 5%? Yeah.
So, honestly, I'll be honest with you. If you look at, and I always tell people these things, the entertainment business, and specifically touring, it's an expensive business. So if you're an economics person or you're a business person, and you ever go, and one of the biggest providers in the world is called Live Nation. Right? They do all the big shows, all the big artists, Jay-Z, everybody. Right? They make their revenue is billions a year.
Wow.
So they make maybe 5-6 billion a year, right? But the expenses are close to $5 billion a year too.
Nice.
So what that means is that their profit margins are low.
Yeah.
So they make a lot of money, but they spend a lot of money to make that amount of money. So in business, what it is that the touring industry is a low margin business. It means that you can make a lot of money, but you're going to spend too much money trying to make that money that you're not going to make
as much
profit. So your expenses are going to be so high. If you think about the fact that Drake was doing his tour, for example, last year, and there was Ferraris hanging from the ceiling in his shows. Those things are expensive. Beyonce, for example, you watch her Coachella show performance on Netflix.
Yeah.
She brought 1,000 people to come and play a band and stand there, and there was all these people doing all these displays. Those things are expensive. They cost money to do. So, as a promoter, especially if you're independent and you're not getting sponsorships, it's hard that you make money anyway. The only ways that a lot of these big promotions make money is because they have sponsorships. And the challenge that we have as African promoters in Canada and North America is that the fan bases of these artists are not as big as they need to be. So if I was bringing an artist from Canada, for example, or from America, the corporate brands in Windsor want to sponsor because they know who Drake is, or they know who Beyonce is, for example. Because those guys are popular, and the audience is American or Canadian. Right?
Okay.
So if I went to TD Bank and say, hey, give me some amount of money to sponsor, to put your logo on my flyer, and to make you guys a sponsor for my show, they will give me money to sponsor a show that's with Beyonce, for example.
Okay.
When I say Wizkid, they might be like, who's that? Right.
Well, that's. I think that's still a gamble.
It's changing now. Don't get me wrong. But ultimately, what it is that the African artists are not, the fan bases are not big enough here.
Oh.
It's a niche fan base, right?
Okay.
And it's mostly immigrants. So when Wizkid is doing a show in Toronto, for example, out of every 10 people that go to the show, there's maybe 8 African people there. And those Africans are students, and they have student visas. They're not citizens of the country.
Oh yeah.
That's a demographic that the government is not looking at as much.
Oh.
And the corporate brands are not looking at those because when you're an immigrant to a country like that, and you don't know if you're going to stay after your graduation or whatever, you're not a target market for brands. So when they want to sponsor, they're looking to sponsor Canadian citizens, places where the Canadian citizens are going to go, right? So when Drake does a show in Toronto, the people that are going there are Canadian. The brands that sponsor them are targeting those Canadian people, right? Because those are the people that are going to buy their products. Like that use TD Bank, for example.
Yeah.
You are full coverage. You're going to stay for 3-4 years. When you go to Nigeria, because you close your TD account, they don't care about you as much.
Yeah.
So they're not going to sponsor me that's doing a Wizkid show because the brands, you don't bring value to the brands basically. And so when you're promoting as an African promoter for African artists, first of all, your market is niche because you're only targeting mostly African people.
Yeah. Who would you like to?
Who would I like to bring? My ideal person to bring to Windsor?
Yeah.
Man, Drake.
Okay.
Actually, you know what's crazy? I actually had the thing that I put on Twitter. It's on my highlights on my Instagram. I want to bring Drake here by 2020. 2020, I tweeted this in 2018, and I have a couple months to make it happen. So you guys pray for me. We can make. I want to bring Drake here. I know you have to give me a deal.
Guess what? The ticket gonna cost everyone $300.
Nah, I hope not. You know what? If we can get the right sponsorships, honestly, the way it can happen that I saw it in my mind was that if Drake just wants to be cool and help out his guy, just come on and talk to your fans in Windsor, maybe he'll give us a free show and we'll just package it for him, or he'll just charge us very cheap, and then we'll get sponsors and stuff. But that's my dream. I want to bring Drake to Windsor. I
think that would be the highlight of your. That would be the highlight of your life, because even your record and even the industry for you. Because Beam Entertainment would actually have that as their logo. Man. Brought Drake to Windsor.
If I bring Drake to Windsor, that's it, bro. Nobody can talk. Don't call me. I have a secretary at that time. Nobody should call me. Don't text me.
Special assistant PA.
Hey.